Hello, 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 hello. Ha! It's been a minute since I've just gone live by myself on my public profile, and I thank you so much for watching this live. If you are new to my space, my name is Dr. Terry Alford. I am known as the Women's Wealth Strategist, and I specialize in helping business owners attract abundance and retire wealthy. And I have restarted my 21-day live challenge. I used to do the lives for 21 straight days. And those of you who've watched me for some time, you know that I have gotten sick, right? I've lost my voice. I've had all types of things happen over the last 12 months. But I am so glad that I've gotten confirmation that now is the time to go ahead and do that 21-day live challenge again, no matter what. So you will be seeing me live here for the next 21 days. I'm back, y'all. And I'm actually pretty, what's the word I want to use? I feel filled. I feel aligned. I feel excited. I had the opportunity to speak to a group of phenomenal business women and just women of God today. And I'm just so glad that I had the opportunity to speak to them at Jasmine's conference. And so I wanted to share a few things that I shared with the ladies today. Of course, it won't be my full presentation, but I feel like somebody that is in my space that wasn't able to go to Tyler, Texas on today, they need to hear this information. And what I want to share with you on today is that God gives us permission to retire wealthy. Yeah, I said it. God gives us permission to retire wealthy. I am a Christian unapologetically. I love God. I love the Lord. He heard my cry, all the good things, right? And too often people of faith tend to think that you have to struggle a little bit in order to gain some brownie points. Like the worse you are financially, the closer you got to be to God. And that's not always true. So I am here to remind some people that God gives you the power to build wealth, but he has also given us permission to retire wealthy. If you've been watching my post, if you've been hearing what I've been saying about retiring wealthy, and you're like, yeah, that sounds good, but that's not for me. It's too late for me. Maybe this live is for you. Maybe you have heard other people speak about what they have in their retirement nest egg, and you're like, dang, I'm just getting started. Maybe you use your retirement nest egg to make it through a difficult season. Maybe you were laid off from your job and you had to use all those funds, and now you're starting your retirement plan over. Or maybe when you got a divorce from your ex, you decided to use money from your retirement to build a house because you want to show off. I don't care what you have done, you still can make moves now so that you can position yourself to be able to retire wealthy. And God gives us permission to do so. So I see that there are a few people that are watching, and I can't see any comments right now. I hope that you all can give me a like, a thumbs up. I'll tell you thank you. I will tell you thank you when I see your comment, or at least when there we go. Okay, so I'm on my phone. I see I got a love, but I don't see any comments. Look, if y'all can hear me, give me a thumbs up or something. I guess because I got a heart, somebody can hear me. And I can hear myself on this phone here. So I'm just going to be looking back and forth to make sure that I don't miss out on any comments here. And hopefully somebody can hear me. And I guess y'all can hear me because I'm loud. Right? I'm going to be looking at my phone right here. I'll be looking at my phone to make sure that I don't miss any comments, just in case y'all got some questions. But anyway, like I said, God gives us permission to retire wealthy. If you've been waiting for permission for you to go after the life that you want, then guess what? This video is your sign. Now, I'm going to speak about different things on different days during this 21-day live challenge, but I'm kicking it off with God gives us permission to retire wealthy. So you don't have to shrink around money. You don't have to feel like you have to struggle. God gets no glory out of you staying broke. Not being broke, not getting broke, not being born broke. Some people are born into poverty, and you are able to have a rags to riches story. God gets glory out of that, but he don't get any glory out of you just staying broke. Okay, he don't get any glory out of you retiring broke. That's not his plan. That's not his plan. So how can we make sure that we're doing the things that are going to help us be positioned to retire wealthy? Well, the first thing that I want to share with those of you who are listening, if you're listening live, give me a thumbs up, say hello, good evening, what's up, right? If you're watching the replay, type hashtag replay. But the first thing that you have to do is you must be diligent. You must be diligent. If you're a business owner, not only are you required to be diligent, but you must be consistent. Consistency is what many people struggle with. They say, well, I did it once. I did it twice. I started, it didn't work. And then you stop doing the thing that you know you're supposed to do because you have shiny object syndrome and you're not being diligent in staying the course. So even in the Bible, it says Proverbs 21:5, the plans of the diligent lead to profit. Profit. It is time out for people to just say they have a business just to say they have a business. It's not just about you having the right structure. It's good to have a LLC or S Corp or a nonprofit, but you need to have money coming in so that you can do the work that you've been called to do. I'll get on that in a little bit. But the verse says, the plans of the diligent lead to profit. You need to pay attention. You need to pay close attention. You have to look at your data. You have to look at your KPIs, your key performance indicators. You got to look at your trigger points. Like, what causes you to spend money like there's no tomorrow? What causes you to not be a good steward over what God has given to you? What causes you not to be focused on being profitable, but you care more about being popular, when being popular is not what you've been called to? Being popular is not what God told you to do. You want to give to all these charities. You want to be there for all these nonprofits. You want to solve all of these problems in the world, but it needs money. It's not just about you being popular. The plans of the diligent lead to profit as surely as haste leads to poverty. You got to be intentional about what you're doing. And don't just be moving so fast, doing all these things without paying attention. You have to pay attention. This is a season in which you have to pay attention. You have to pay close attention. You must be diligent if you want to position yourself to retire wealthy. You have to be. You absolutely have to be. The second thing you must do is you must count up the cost. Again, many of us have a good heart to serve. We want to give back to our community. We want to give back to the less fortunate. We want to give. We give our time. We give our talents. We give our treasures. Well, some of us. And the truth of the matter is you have to count up the cost. You have to pay attention to how much time you are spending on your business, how much time you are spending with your family, how much time you are spending with the Creator. Even at today's conference, Dr. Margarita said God cares about how much time we give him. We should be tithing with our time. There are 24 hours in a day, so we at least need to be spending or investing, however you want to see it, 2 hours and 40 minutes with the Father every day. That's not a lot to ask. You got to count up the cost. When you don't spend time with God, who is not the author of confusion, then guess what? You may be more confused. You got to count up the cost. And for those of you who have all of these big dreams and goals, I am here to tell you there is nothing wrong with dreaming big. If you know about me, I am considered a little lady with big dreams, got a big voice, got a big personality. But when people see me in person, they're like, where the rest of you? I thought you were taller. And there's nothing wrong with having big goals, big dreams, big vision, because we serve a big God, right? But you must count up the cost. Counting up the cost means that you must also backwards plan. If you know you want to retire in 5, 10, 15 years from now, with 1 million, 2 million, 10 million, 15 million in your retirement nest egg, you have to figure out, how much do I need to save now in order for me to reach my goal? How much interest do I need to get on my money in order for me to get closer to that retirement goal and be able to retire at that age? Because retirement is really not about the age, it's about the number, it's about the money. So if you want to retire early and you want to retire wealthy, you have to know, what is that going to cost you? If you're a business owner, it may cost you spending more time on your business than the time you spending with friends and family in some seasons, right? You have to make hard decisions. You have to make some people uncomfortable. You have to let some people just be mad at you, because if God said it is time to go, it is time to go. If God said it is time for you to focus and buckle down and be diligent and stay this course and stay right here and do not move, that's what you are going to do. Because if you don't, it's going to cost you something. It's going to cost you too much. It's going to cost you too much. Even when Jesus was speaking to his disciples, he said, suppose one of you build a tower. Wouldn't you first sit down, or you want to build a tower, wouldn't you first sit down and estimate the cost to see if you have enough money to complete it? You don't just start building. You build with a plan. And if you don't have enough money to build it, then guess what? You have to change what that tower is going to look like, or you may change the timeline, or you may change how you spend your time to make sure you bring in enough money, to make sure you bring in enough funding so that you can build that tower. Same thing with retirement planning. Same thing with retirement planning. You don't just say, I want to retire. Like, you need to know, what are you going to have to give up in order for you to reach that goal? Maybe you are going to have to cut a few things in your budget, not cut them completely, but at least cut you spending as much as you do at the level that you're spending, because a lot of the people that you're trying to impress, like, they don't like you, know it. They don't like you anyway. Okay. They don't like you anyway. And your focus should be on you and your future and your father and your family and your finances, not on keeping up with the Joneses. I can tell y'all, I have some millionaire clients. I love when I meet with my millionaire clients and we do their needs analysis. The most exciting thing about working with the clients that I have that are millionaires on paper, they have over $1 million in assets. Some of them have over $1 million coming in a year. You know what I love about them? Most of them, they're not flashy at all. You wouldn't even know it, baby. They are driving, not new cars. They are driving the cars that they want. And that a lot of my clients who have a lot of assets, they do not have the Bugattis. They ain't waking up in no Bugatti, but they got Bugatti money. They have Bugatti assets. So if you want to retire wealthy, you got to count up the cost. What I'm trying to tell you is they have these assets because they said, instead of me buying all of this stuff, I'm going to invest this money into my future. I'm going to invest this money into my family. I'm going to invest this money or reinvest this money into my business because I know where I want to go. I'm going to invest this money into my future instead of just buying a lot of stuff. So you have permission to retire wealthy. You don't have to wait. You got permission. You got permission. You got to be diligent, though. You got to be diligent. You have to count up the cost. And it is important that you seek wise counsel. I know a lot of y'all love TikTok, and TikTok can give you a lot of good information. But what you got to do is you got to make sure that people are licensed and certified to speak to you about the things that they are speaking to you about. And you want to also make sure you're working with people that have your best interests at heart and not just their best interests at heart. Because if they have their best interests at heart, let me tell you, you may have a misstep somewhere along the way. And what I will also say is, in addition to seeking wise counsel, even God says in the Bible that you should have 7 ventures. Let me tell you what it says in Ecclesiastes 11:2. This is proof that diversifying your portfolio is decent and in order. It says invest into 7 ventures. 7 ventures. Yes, in 8. In 8. Because you do not know what disaster may come upon the land. That's the New International Version. It says that you must invest in multiple ventures because you do not know what is to come up upon the land. If you haven't seen anything else in 2025, you should have noticed that at any point in time, things can change. And because at any point in time, things can change, you have to determine how much of your money do you want to be in the market where you have time to, if you have time to recover from in case you lose a lot of it, or you have to ask yourself, well, shoot, if I plan on retiring within the next 2 years, am I truly an aggressive investor at this time? If I have all my eggs in one basket, is that good? You shouldn't have all your eggs in one basket. Even here, it says that you should diversify. You should diversify. So you shouldn't have all your money in the market if you have it in the market. You should have some safe products, and then you should have some products that may be a little volatile if you are an aggressive investor. But make sure you have a good foundation. There are multiple ways for you to invest and be able to retire wealthy. Shameless plug. If you want to see some of those ways, you will definitely see a number of those ways at the Attract Abundance Conference. Shameless plug. If you have not gotten your ticket yet to the Attract Abundance Conference, it is going to be amazing. It's going to be off the charts. I'm telling you, you have never been to an event like the event that is going to happen in Frisco, Texas, October the 24th through the 26th. Our theme is Attract Abundance and Retire Wealthy. So if you have not gotten your ticket, I highly recommend that you go to attractabundanceconference.com, because if you feel like this is good, if you feel like the other things that you've read, heard, and seen is good, it does not compare to what is going to happen in the room. It doesn't compare to the conversations that we're going to have in the room. It does not compare to the transactions that are going to happen in the room, because when you are in the room, we are not just going to give you notes, even though it's good for you to take notes. No, we're going to practice. We're going to put these things into practice so that you can attract more abundance, and then you can plan and position yourself to retire wealthy. Some people are coming to the conference because they want to learn how to attract abundance on a whole nother level. Some people are coming to the conference because they want to learn how to reinvest and invest again so that they can retire wealthy. Some people are coming to the conference because they want to see how I'm doing it in real life, in person. They're like, I like what you're doing. I love what you're doing. I'm inspired by what you're doing. I really want to see what this looks like in real time. Come on to the Attract Abundance Conference. We have a seat for you. And actually on Saturday night, we are going to have a gala, and our gala is going to be, it's going to be a purposeful gala. We are going to give out awards, and we're also going to give money to a nonprofit that supports and helps families who deal with childhood cancer. All right. So you want to be at the Attract Abundance Conference. If for whatever reason you can't come, but you know somebody is in Dallas and they need to be there, send them a DM, introduce them to me. If you know they're in California and they need to be there, send them a DM, introduce them to me, because I want all the people that need to be in the room to get in the room. Okay. So back to making sure we diversify when we are using our money, right? Making sure that we go back to diversification. Oh, Latara, thank you. I see a comment here. She says, love that color on you. Beautiful. Thank you. I actually like wearing yellow. I like wearing yellow. Like, for those of you who've seen me speak, you know, when I speak, I typically wear my business branding colors, the blues and the greens. But lately, because gold is one of my colors, I have been wearing more yellow, and yellow been popping. Yellow has been popping. So I'm excited about this yellow. But yes, make sure that you are diversifying. You are not putting all your eggs into one basket. Okay. Now, that doesn't mean that you got to go out there and start 17 businesses at the same time. If you've been watching me for a while, you know I speak out against that. Don't start 17 businesses at one time. You can create 17 streams in the business that you have right now. You just got to make sure the alignment is there. Because if you're doing too many things and your attention is split, that's costing you too. That's why I say you got to count the cost. So don't do too much too soon. Be diligent. I'm going to say like this guy used to say, he's a millionaire. He used to work with the company I used to work with some years ago. He would say, take your time, but hurry up. All right. So that means take your time, but don't waste time. Take your time, but don't waste time. All right. And then the last thing that I'm going to give y'all is you have to know that you have the power to build wealth. As my old pastor used to say when I was a little girl, our pastor at that time, I don't remember a lot of things that he said because I really was little. But one thing I do remember is he would always say, you got to know that you 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 know. Like, I remember that from being a little girl. And so I am going to say today, you have to know that you 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 have the power to build wealth. God gives us the power to build wealth. He gives us permission to build wealth. And with us building wealth, we are able to retire wealthy when we stay in alignment and we do what he says do. And for those of you who say, Terry, it's easy for you to say that like you only 35. It's easy for you to say that like I'm just getting started and I'm in my late 50s. It's easy for you to say that I had money in my 401k, but I had to use a lot of it because I got laid off from my job or got laid off from I'm just gonna say my employer unexpectedly. I know that you have the power to produce wealth. Deuteronomy 8:18 says this. But remember the Lord your God, for it is he who gives you the power to build wealth. So you have the power to build wealth. You have the permission to retire wealthy. Now the question is, what are you going to do about it? You can't say you didn't know. You press play. I guess that's it. You can't use it as an excuse anymore. You can't say I didn't know that I could retire wealthy. I am telling you, you can. And I am telling you that you will if you do the right things in the right order. You're diligent. You count the cost. You seek wise counsel, and you believe with everything within your being that God gives you the power to build wealth. When you believe that you have the power to build wealth, you show up differently. Something may not go your way and you don't quit. If something doesn't go your way, you don't say, well, I guess it ain't supposed to work. No, you're like, you know what? That's okay. I know it's going to work because I am a magnet for wealth and prosperity. My brilliance is worth millions. I release all resistance that is keeping me from attracting the abundance that I know is on its way. I am grateful for the abundance that I have now and the abundance that is on its way. For those of you who do not know, I just gave you some of my attract abundance affirmations, and I'm actually going to give that to you in the comment section of this video. So there are 21 attract abundance affirmations, and whenever I get to be whenever I'm starting to think more whenever doubt creeps in, let me say it like that. Whenever doubt tries to creep in a situation, I have to remind myself that I am abundance and that is my name. That's what I have to remind myself. I have to remind myself using the 21 attract abundance affirmations. And I promise you, if you say these affirmations and you move like you believe in these affirmations, you're going to see things fall into place. Am I perfect? No. Do I make mistakes? Yes. But one thing I do know is my mindset, my money, and my movement is always being elevated. And I know that one of the things that I do to work on my mindset is to continue to affirm the fact that I know that I deserve to attract abundance and retire wealthy. I know that I have the power to attract abundance and retire wealthy because God gave me that power. And so, because He gave me that power, whatever is mine is mine. Whatever is yours is yours. I'm not going to take from you and you're not going to take from me. So when I show up in a room, if a client is mine, they mine. Period. Point blank, period. If I'm supposed to have something, I'm going to have it. If I'm not supposed to have something, I'm not going to have it. Because I know that as I move and as I groove, I am moving and grooving with the idea, with the understanding that God gives me permission to retire wealthy. So because He's given me permission to retire wealthy, I don't have to shrink. I don't have to play small. He's given me permission to retire wealthy. When I make more money than I made the last month or the month before last, I don't have to shrink and say, well, that's enough for me. Let me leave some for somebody else. No, He said, I gave you the gifts. I am God. I gave you the gifts. I gave you the goals, because once you get the increase, you can hire more people. Once you get the increase, you can donate to more charities. For some of us, it's not the time for us to spend days, nights, and weekends volunteering. It's time for us to spend days, nights, and weekends bringing in the money so that we can make sure that the people who need the money can get it. There are different types of philanthropists, right? You can give with your time. You can give with your talent. You can give with your treasure. I promise y'all, all the nonprofits I know of, they love when you give with your treasure. So this could be a season where you are to focus, because I know it's a season for me where I am to focus. And I have accepted the fact that God has given me permission to retire wealthy. I thank you so much for watching this live. If you know somebody needs to see this live, tag them on this video. And the only comment I see is Latora's. Latora, I thank you very much. But even if you are at a place where you're like, well, shoot, I don't know if you can help me, I encourage you to do one or two things. Okay, I encourage you to do one or two things. The first thing that I'm going to encourage you to do is go to the link that is in the comment section of this video. There's a calendar link where you can book a one-on-one time with me. My Retire Wealthy consultations are $0 Somebody asked me the other day, he was like, why don't you charge for your consultations? I was like, the first consultation is truly for me to see if I'm a good fit for you. If you're a good fit for me. If you're looking for something that I don't offer, if you're looking for a cryptocurrency expert, I'm not your girl. I ain't the one. Okay. So I want to make sure that what you're doing, where you are, where you're going, works with what I have. And if it doesn't work and I am not a fit for you, I know who to refer you to. So your Retire Wealthy consultation is free. It's complimentary. You don't lose anything. Okay. You don't lose anything. Okay. So you can book a time to meet. Also, if you want to see some products that can actually help you retire wealthy, some financial tools and products that can help you retire wealthy, I'm actually hosting a webinar on tomorrow. It's called Business Owners Deserve to Retire Wealthy. Business owners deserve to retire wealthy. And if you want the link to that free webinar, it's tomorrow at 6 p.m. Okay. Sunday at 6 p.m. What's tomorrow? The 24th at 6 p.m. We'll get on Zoom. I'm going to show you some products. You can ask me a lot of questions, and that may be your way for you to see if you want to continue to work with me. But either way, I thank you for watching this live. I'll see y'all again tomorrow, and I hope you all have an abundant evening and weekend. Adios.